This time it's a hot one, but either way, we have another fantastic game for you. Christos FC women against EagleFC. Christian Taylor, Danny Tao, and special guest general manager of Christos FC, Mr. Larry Sankum. And first, what we mentioned in our first show is that we're going to try and bring on a few guests for a few of these pregame shows. Well, why not start with the legend himself, the man controlling absolutely everything. So appreciate you tuning in here.
You're too kind.
I guess first and foremost, the question I want to ask for you is, what is so special about Christos FC? I mean, we've seen this program kind of develop along the years, from '97 when it started off, and it really seems like this whole organization has grown over the years.
It has. It's a family effort. Literally, most of the guys here, like I said, they've always been connected as friends first, and then we build out on that. They're kids that we've coached, kids that we've developed, and then they bring in other friends of theirs, and it's always been just the right fit. If you're not the right fit, we usually don't make it here long. It's just a really tight niche, and now the women's program, we're kind of bringing that same feel, and man, I'm just really happy. I didn't know how that was going to run with the men's team, but it's gone really well. It's gone really well.
I mean, how about this facility too, the Moose Complex? I mean, this has been fantastic this year.
This is what we've been dreaming of, to finally have a home base and then build off of that. Like, I don't expect it to go big, but I feel like it's going to get bigger every year, and that's what we want, just small growth. And I'm happy with that.
Yeah, Larry, I mean, we've seen a couple, through 3 or 4 USL League games now. I want your perspective. What are you kind of seeing from the men's and women's teams after a couple games?
For the men's team, I just feel like we're really quality. I just don't, it doesn't matter who we play. We can play with anybody. Even a good Champions League team in the USL, I think we can play with them any day of the week with our best guys. The women's are the same way. I think they're top quality, high-level players. A lot of them are probably going to play pro one day. And they're just really, to be honest with you, fantastic kids. They are kids still to me, but to young ladies and young men. They're great guys and great women.
What's your prediction? I mean, I know you might be a little bit biased, but where do you see this team going? Actually, both teams, both men's and women's, by the end of the year.
I expect each team to make the playoffs and, win the conference. That's the goal every year with our groups, you know what I mean? And if we fall short, I know we're not on effort. We'll be competing. There's never a year that we're not going to be in that top 3. You know what I mean? I don't ever think that.
Cool. I guess final question today. Obviously it's a big game against Eagle. They haven't played a game yet this year, but they have a really nice organization put together. What are you kind of expecting on a game like this today?
Oh, it's quality. Everybody in this league is going to give us quality. If you watch the women's game, the first half was quality. They had some runs that our keeper made some fantastic saves and kept us getting in. Then we got each other, feeling each other out, and we got to start playing, how we play. But, I expect the same thing tonight. These girls here, they all play high-level Division I college. It's going to be a great game.
Mr. Larry Sankum, appreciate you taking your time out of this busy
schedule.
Thanks
for your time.
And joining us here on the pregame show.
All right, make sure you get a yum-yum.
That's right. So that's the legend himself, in case any of you, you've heard me refer to him so many times, including last year when it was FC Baltimore Christos. He was the head coach of the team. Now he's the general manager of Christos FC. The man is awesome. We saw it right there. So we really appreciate him taking the time here to chat with us.
Yeah, it's always great. I assume we'll get even better interviews as the season goes
That's
on.
Right.
Hard to top, but
yeah.
I'm sure we'll find a way.
There are a lot of legends who have played with this organization, so we'll be getting more guests as this season goes along. So now we got to focus on today, and 94, I think, is the temperature.
I think I saw the heat index up at 96, maybe even hotter here on the turf with the Moose.
It's ridiculous, and it's fantastic. When we were trying to sit here, our first show, folks, again, was in the Moose because it was raining so hard, and we were so sopping wet after that game. Noah had mentioned, it might be even more wet after this one as compared to the first one. So that's the type of weather we're dealing with today. But I guess from a game-playing standpoint, how do you think the players try to work with this type of heat? Because this is nothing that you're really playing in, maybe besides 1 or 2 games at the beginning of August.
Oh, absolutely. These are the kind of games where bench depth really plays a crucial factor, maybe even more so than in a usual game, because, in this heat on the turf, players are going to get tired more quickly. No matter how much you pre-hydrate or get ready for this game, your system needs a break in this heat. So when you can have quality bench depth and players who can give your players a rest when they're running too hard in the heat, it's going to give you a better product.
Well, on Wednesday, this Christos team had no problem whatsoever, and you were able to see them firsthand. I was unable to make that one, but 6-0 was the score. Tell me just how good was this team? How were they able to make it 6-0?
Yeah, and that was a team where they just kind of wore the other team down. I mean, you heard Larry just say the first half of that last game was a pretty quality first half, pretty back and forth. You know, it was 1-0 Christos at the break, but both teams had their chances and their looks. And then in the second half, Christos just comes back out with energy and just wore Patuxent down. And just you get second, and the floodgates open, and a third, and a fourth. And when you've got as much depth and talent as this Christos team does, especially compared to a Patuxent team that was very young, a very, very young team, a lot of college freshmen on that team, it just looks even better for Christos, and the score sheet showed that.
Now, the team that Christos are playing today, as we mentioned already, EagleFC. Now, those of you who may not be too familiar with them, they're out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, so they do a really nice job of bringing in kind of players from Central PA, kind of an area that maybe isn't represented quite as much, because when you think of Pennsylvania, you're obviously thinking Pittsburgh out west and then Philly out east. There's a lot of stuff going on there right in the center of PA, so EagleFC is a perfect example of the quality that even mid-PA really has.
And you look at kind of how Christos is set up as an organization. You know, you've got your USL teams, and you go up and up with the adult teams who are over 30s, over 40s. Eagles kind of the reverse. You go to the USL and you go down. They've got youth clubs. They've got, you know, a lot of the players that you're going to see today coming through the EagleFC system and those academy teams. So it's interesting kind of the build-up to get to this point for Eagle.
You know, it's pretty unique, too, because a lot of these players, as you mentioned, they have these youth clubs. They have been playing with EagleFC for a while, as compared to, you know, Christos, where it's just kind of pick and choose. I mean, a lot of them played together at Archbishop Spalding, you know, Maryland United, Baltimore Armor, you name it. But, you know, not all together as a club. These players for EagleFC, they've had a lot of experience together, and something like that, the chemistry, is something that a lot of these teams are trying to figure out right away, and they have it.
Yeah, and you could say, okay, they've played together through the academy system, they have that experience, but on the other hand, Christos has played a game now in the USLW League, and EagleFC hasn't. So this current team, albeit with some substitutions from Wednesday, you know, it's not the same 18-man roster that was at Archbishop Spalding High School on Wednesday, but they have that in-game chemistry, and that's something Eagle doesn't necessarily have yet at the USLW level.
That's right, first game ever in this USLW League, this brand new USLW League, which is fantastic. It was actually pretty cool to watch in the offseason, just how all these teams are beginning to just multiply and multiply up, and it really shows just the prominence of the growth of women's sports. It's fantastic to see. And I mean, even one team to even say, Indy 11, I don't know if you've been paying attention or if any of you at home have been paying attention like elsewhere in the nation, but Indy 11, I believe, are still undefeated right now, and they've been blowing out teams. And that's something that a lot of these teams have capabilities of, and I would say both of these teams today also have chances of doing
absolutely. I mean, we just saw Christos go 6-0 against a team that's in their division. They're going to play again 2 more times, so it'll, blowout capabilities, close game capabilities. You're going to get it all in the W.
That's right. We're going to have a good one today. First, for Eagle, we do have the starting 11 for them today.
Yes,
Danny, if you want to take us through at least who we have. Actually, I have the lineups as well. But yeah,
so
by all
for
means.
Eagle, we've got a 4-3-3 seemingly with Haley McGee, Alex Murphy, Hannah Young, Emily Clapper, Meg Tate, Carly Smith, Liz Weiss, Lexi Johnson, Gina Presley, Julia Belfonte, and Grace Brown, making up the Eagle starting lineup. Now, do the honors for Christos.
Yeah, for Christos here, they're also kind of like a 4-2-3-1 is kind of how they're looking today. Caroline Duffy is going to get the start and goal. Hutchinson had the goal, or had the starts at least in last game. But back four, Megan Garmy, Zoe Vidare, Jessica Wallace, Natalie Holmes, that's your back four. Sarah Martin, Juliana Lynch kind of playing more as your defensive mids, holding mids. Your attacking mids, Aria Bilal, Bailey DeSmit, who had a couple goals in the last game, Tori Paul as well down that right flank, and Catherine DeRosa right up the middle. So really pretty nice from both of these two teams. I guess first starting with Eagle, the difference, I guess, between the two sides is Christos have at least a good handful of Division I players, probably mostly Division I players. Eagle is about half.
Yeah.
But is there anybody on this Eagle roster that kind of jumps out to you today?
Yeah, I'm really looking at the goalkeeper, Haley McGee. She's got incredible stats playing for Westchester. An 879 save percentage last season, just .61 goals against average. I mean, that jumps off the page right away when you're talking about this team. So if Christos is going to win this game, they're going to have to put some past a top-quality keeper.
Not to mention, she saves 88% of the shots she sees, which is remarkable, to say the least. I think another storyline is Carly Smith for EagleFC. So she just finished her first season over at High Point. And, you know, as we had talked about in the men's game, you know, there were some, against Northern Virginia, the story was there was a few fellow American University Eagles playing against each other. There are a few High Point Panthers playing against each other here, too. Really on this entire Christos roster this season. Megan Garmy, she is one of those as the outside back. She is starting today. So, yet again, teammates playing off against each other, no tendencies.
Yeah, you know, some tendencies, but at the same time, you know, we're seeing Garmy starting in the back, and Carly Smith is a defender, so a little bit less than we saw in the men's game, but definitely still, you know, even if they're not going one-on-one against each other, you can still impart that wisdom to the players who are in that matchup. Also,
Alexandra Murphy is going to go to High Point from EagleFC, so another High Point Panther involved there. In the lineup. Now for Christos, I mean, who else? I mean, really, this whole team, we saw them on Wednesday. This is a team that's pretty loaded. Who are you expecting to step up today?
I mean, it would be easy to say someone like Bailey DeSmit or Natalie Holmes, players who, you know, put stuff on the score sheet against Patuxent, but I'm looking more at the players who didn't play against Patuxent, the Caroline Duffys, the Tori Pauls, the players who haven't gotten those USLW minutes yet, to maybe have some fresher legs because they didn't play a USLW League game 3 days ago. So I would expect them to have a big impact today.
It should be very, very exciting. Now, before we conclude this pregame show, we'll have to remind you the Christos men are playing down in Newport News against Lionsbridge. That's going to be a wild crowd down there, and we'll try to give you some score updates as this one goes along. That will start at 7 o'clock, I believe, tonight. So by about halftime of this one, we'll start seeing some of the updates kind of pour in, both on Christos' social media. We'll be giving that to you as well here over air. Danny, any final thoughts? Any final maybe score prediction for this one?
You know, today is a celebratory day for Maryland sports. You know, you got the Preakness, you got the much-awaited debut of Adley Rutschman, the Orioles. So I think if you're in a Maryland versus Pennsylvania soccer matchup today, you got to go for Team Maryland. I'm thinking Christos 2-1.
2-1? I think Eagle also get a goal today, too. Now, I guess the difficulty is we haven't seen them.
Yeah.
So we just have no idea what's going on. And for Christos, it's a 6-goal thwomping of Patuxent. I might agree with you on that score line. I do think it's going to be a 1-goal margin. I could see a 3-2 today. I could see a 3-2. Even though this defense of Christos is pretty strong, I do think Eagle and their chemistry might get a good opportunity, good chance to knock down the door of Christos, who have not been knocked down yet. So will be really exciting. Folks, stay tuned here on 11 Sports. EagleFC and Christos FC here today on USL League 2. I have an orange one if you want it.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep. Yep. Good though, because you're just right here. So I need to go over this way anyways, so it'll be easy for the mic to switch off. Well, folks, it is a hot one, but a good one. Nevertheless, Christos FC women against EagleFC women. So glad to have you with us here on 11sports.com. I'm Christian Taylor. With me today is Danny Tao. Wow, Christos with a 6-0 win this recent Wednesday against Patuxent. EagleFC, we haven't seen a game yet, but one thing is for certain about this EagleFC team is they're very organized. They're full of a bunch of players who have played together for a while, and now here they are playing at the USL level.
Yeah, and you talk about playing together for a while. That's not just, on EagleFC. These are girls who've come through the EagleFC system, playing on their academy teams, playing on their youth teams. They really know each other's play style well, and it's going to be a test for Christos today to match that chemistry.
Well, we'll look through the lineups here as EagleFC are in the red, Christos are in the gray, and off we go. EagleFC starting from right to left here for the first half. Christos left to right on your internet dials. First we'll go with Eagle, who start with the ball here, kind of playing in a 4-3-3, but we'll go numerically here for EagleFC. Alexandra Murphy wearing number 2, Hannah Young 7, Emily Clapper 8, Meg Tate wearing number 10, Carly Smith 15, Liz Weiss 19, Alexis Johnson 23, Gina Presley 24, Julia Belfonte 27, Grace Bound 29, and in goal Haley McGee. And why don't you take us through the Christos starting 11 here, Danny?
Yeah, so Christos out in kind of a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 hybrid almost. They got Caroline Duffy in the back wearing number 0. Backline Megan Garmy, number 24. Zoe Vidare, number 25. Jessica Wallace, number 18. Natalie Holmes, number 15. In the middle, it's Sarah Martin wearing 20. Bailey DeSmit, 17. And Juliana Lynch, number 4. Aria Bilal, number 8, and Tori Paul, number 11, kind of playing the wing positions. And up top, you've got Bootsy DeRosso wearing number 13, Christian.
And she is also wearing one of these captain's bands today, as well as Natalie Holmes as the right outside back for Christos today. And Sarah Martin wearing the captain's band, too, for Christos. So a lot of leaders certainly on this team. Most of these Christos players currently in college, maybe pretty young college age, but they do have a few players who have just moved on or just beyond graduation. Sarah Martin is one of those, graduated from Vermont in 2017. Will be looking for a big impact today.
Yeah, Natalie Holmes, another one. No longer in college, but still providing an impact. Great. And those are the kind of players you want as your captains, you want as your leaders, you want as your voice on the field. Natalie
Holmes just finished her grad student campaign at the Bloomsburg University of Pennsylvania. That's Division II. Had 3 trips to the NCAA tournament in her time there. Has a lot of experience, especially against, players for EagleFC, a lot of them from kind of those central Pennsylvania schools.
Oh, absolutely. That same level, same region, players for EagleFC playing for Westchester, playing for Jefferson, Penn State, Berks, also there. So they've played against each other. They might know a thing or two about their tactics and styles.
Kutztown, one of them as well for Julia Belfonte. I mean, the list literally continues. Meg Tate at Dickinson. I mean, there's so many different players who have played just kind of all over. As Christos are trying to control the ball here as they shoot one forward to this right-hand side, intending one for Catherine DeRosa. Instead, it's hit backwards. That's a good touch by Tori Paul before they work it back to the goalkeeper in Caroline Duffy, getting her first start of the season.
Yeah, and Duffy, an All-American this past season playing at River Hill High School. So definitely some talent in the Christos net today.
Not to mention, she's committing to Duke, and that is not an easy task. And there she is, going and playing down in Durham, North Carolina.
No, and having some firsthand knowledge of how that River Hill High School program works, I can say it's no easy job getting through there either.
Decent opportunity here as DeRosa picks up the ball, can go from here, tries to sneak one through, and Grace Brown just stood a little too strong. Alexandra Murphy kicks it out of play. And a throw in for Christos in a dangerous area.
And she didn't necessarily have a ton of options there for help, but it looked like DeRosa was just trying to dribble through 4 girls by herself. And, that might work once or twice, but that's not really an effective strategy for a full game.
Here comes the deep throw. Bilal with a good hold, trying to turn this around here. Now centers one up. Will take one, and it's right into the waiting hands of Haley McGee.
And that's a great job for getting your offense going early. Not the best shot, right at the keeper, but to actually get one on net this early it's a good start for Christos.
Especially if you're beginning to just test the keeper, right, instead of trying to penetrate that penalty area.
Exactly.
Well, that was a good job by Bailey DeSmit, who just won that back. Another shot coming low, another roller, but still yet another tester from this Christos offense.
Yeah, and again, not a great shot, pretty easy for the keeper, almost getting the keeper into the flow of the game. But it's also about getting the attackers into the flow of the game, see what, how the ball's feeling on this hot turf, how the ball's flying. So, it's a good learning curve, you could say.
Now, perhaps, again, this Christos team has had, like a practice or two here on this field, but, it's still relatively new, so they're just trying to figure out the tendencies, how thick that turf is, and just kind of how you want to play it today.
Absolutely, and you got to imagine that the weather is going to play a factor, too. It's heat index looking around 95 right now, slightly hotter playing on the turf. So the players, the ball's going to travel differently than it would in, a rainy game as we saw a couple weeks ago. It's going to travel differently. Players are going to play differently. Body's going to get fatigued faster. So it's a learning experience for everyone today.
Well, she had to deal with that one pretty quickly there. Holmes beginning to make that run, and now she does claim it. Got the fantastic pass. Welcoming it is Tori Paul. And Zoe Vidare will bring it back to her keeper. And they're looking to build out of the back here, Christos. Looking to continue that pressure early on. That's kind of one of their main focal points today.
And that's not necessarily something we saw last Wednesday, was building out of the back. Christos a little more content last Wednesday to kind of let the ball fly into the midfield and try to win it there. So it's an interesting change of strategy. I'm not sure whether that's because of the opponent, whether it's strategy, whether it's personnel, remains to be seen.
Nifty move that has a little bit of space gained for Christos. Through ball on the way. Tori Paul is on the other end of this one. Just gets it off in time, but hits the side of the net. And goal kick at the end of it all.
It's a good attacking opportunity, way to penetrate the Eagle defense. But and Paul, good effort to try and get the ball into the middle. Just couldn't get it there.
We've played about 7 minutes here today, here at the Moose Complex in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Christos FC and EagleFC, first ever combination between these two sides, as Eagle look to enjoy a decent spell of possession here. Alexis Johnson just finished her junior season at Pitt Johnstown out of Division II, and Christos immediately win it back. Just assessing where she wants to go with this one. Tori Paul looking for that through ball, and everybody able to back off for Haley McGee. So once again, it was a right idea, but no connection of the pass there. And it seems like Christos have had at least a few more touches in their attacking third. Eagle not quite as much, but do definitely have the options up top, like a Meg Tate who's trying to make her run here.
And it's still early stages, so we'll see if Eagle can kind of settle into this game and find their feet and possess more. But right now, it's all Christos.
That's right. I mean, they haven't played a game yet in the USLW League, so they are looking to kind of see what type of flavor Christos are bringing to the table.
And I think it's interesting, though, even after Christos wins the ball on their own end, we're not seeing a ton of pressing from the Eagle attackers. Maybe it's a part of their strategy to kind of sit off a little bit. Maybe it's weather-related, try to conserve some energy on this hot day.
Julia Belfonte, decent ball, finding Emily Clapper, who crosses over, does keep it low. Opportunity for Weiss as she just switches over to her right side. Grace Brown now beginning to push forward. Oh, nifty move, still threading through the defense, but that final pass was not there.
No, and Grace Brown's someone who has experience at the highest level, a little bit unlike a lot of her teammates who are playing at D2, D3. Grace Brown's someone who started every game for Nebraska this past season, so she's definitely a leader on this team, someone who's got experience playing against tough opponents like Christos is.
Over 1,600 minutes for her this season. Absolutely remarkable.
Wow, most minutes played there by over 250. I mean, that's just incredible.
Yeah, you do not see that much on many teams, but that just shows you how important of a player she was for the Huskers this season. Up it goes. The run is being made by Murphy. That's a little bit of speed there that Christos might need to keep their eyes on.
And we're still seeing this Christos defense trying to figure out how to play with each other. We saw last game when I spoke to Jester Hutchison after the game. She said that they said they were just trying to learn each other's names at the beginning. So now that they've got a little bit of experience there, they know how each other play, and they're only going to get better as a defensive backline. Wow,
what a great interview that was with Hutchison. I tell you what, that was fantastic. And it shows you just the type of characters and the type of quality people that this organization has.
Oh, thank you, Christos. That's very kind of you to say.
Oh, yeah, and the guy who interviewed him, too. Yeah, right. Cross about to come in, and once again, Haley McGee is able to cut this one off. Well, Haley McGee is another player that might need to keep your eye on. Just finished her junior season over at Westchester, started 18 games, 1,600 minutes as well, so sharing a similar trait with Grace Brown, but had 9 shutouts during the season, only allowed 11 goals through the entire campaign, a .61 goals against average. 81 saves, 88% save percentage.
I'd say that's pretty good. And we're seeing with Christos, they're not doing a ton of high pressing either. I think that's weather related. These players trying to conserve some energy for the next 80 minutes.
Back across the middle, lovely turn. And it is another good look by Juliana Lynch, who is also getting some good minutes here for Christos today. Looking across this one in again. There's a touch, just saved by Carly Smith, and it is out for a corner kick for Christos, first of the game.
Gotta say, I'm a little envious of those fans sitting over there in the shade. They got it good over there. They're watching a great soccer game, and they get to be in the shade. We're out here battling the elements.
They thought about it early.
Yeah.
Oh, we're always battling the elements for these games, I'll tell you what.
Well, it's worth it to watch this quality.
Talk about battling elements, that's our cameraman, Mr. Noah Walker. He's done it all season long. Not just this game.
Christos, both the men's and women's team have found success off the corner kicks. First goal last week came off a corner, or Wednesday, excuse me. We'll see if we can get one again today.
The in-swinger. Decent area. Lingering nearby. Another pickup here. Pushes it to that left-hand side, Garmy. Now a lovely step over. A little bit of daylight to work with here. But offsides.
Right idea by Garmy. Just a little unlucky with the positioning over there on the left wing. But it's definitely the right idea. Find a player in space with a path to the goal.
Eagle, this is some time where they're looking for a bit of possession. Let's see if they can try and string together a few passes here. Christos every time have been able to pick that ball back up, and a dangerous ball back for Grace Brown, who was able to recover in time. DeRosa sneaking right behind, and now it's picked off as Bilal will begin the run here for Christos. Back inside the penalty area, has a little bit of space to maneuver, shoots one, and it's off the goalpost and out for a goal kick. So it doesn't look like McGee got a touch to it, but it was awfully close. She had that post guarded anyways.
That's a great high press by Christos. They're not really jumping up on Grace Brown, because you can see Grace Brown's just a little more confident on the ball than for a lot of her teammates. So you press the other players, and Bilal had an opportunity there off that press. Well done.
Goal kick for Haley McGee. This EagleFC side coached by Evan Boyd, Mark Brown, Jorge Chapoy, and George Gemberling. Great crew that has really helped develop these players and then some, and are giving USLW League a crack. Welcomed in by Bailey DeSmit, and works it across the timeline. Nearby is Julia Belfazzi, who's trying to pick the ball back up, and once again, just a little bit of miscommunication as the ball is forced away. Here's Gina Presley, sophomore out of Jefferson University, and now the defense beginning to connect a little bit more. At least before that was intercepted nicely by Juliana Lynch. Lynch just picked it off under her feet, hit from behind, play continues for Eagle.
It's a similar kind of play that we saw with DeSmit earlier. It's just Lynch trying to take on multiple defenders at once. She needs to get that ball off her feet and find her teammates in space. If she's taking on 4 defenders, there's got to be someone open.
Does it seem like there's a little bit more space to maneuver out here, as I guess opposed to previous games?
You know, it's tough to say this early, but I would definitely say there's a lot of room on the wings for Christos to operate, and we've seen that with Bilal taking that shot in, one or two other opportunities versus Lynch and DeSmit trying to dribble up the middle and meeting resistance, and as we're seeing now, space on the wings.
Wow, great ball delivered. Showing inside is DeRosa. They don't quite get it to her, but Juliana Lynch so good when she runs the point, and they'll try and settle some things down. Vitare looking forward, lovely chest trap. It's just brought down into a dangerous area again. Recorralled by Tori Paul, or at least was about to. Looks like she was in an offsides position, so would have been offsides had she touched that, and it allows Eagle to at least clear their lines for a moment. Headed along by Liz Weiss, just finished a junior season over at Wazoo, Washington State that is, out of Carlisle, PA, so very, very long trip. Looking back down here to Pennsylvania, now Maryland. Cross coming in again into the danger area, and it's brought back down. Haley McGee welcomes another one.
It's the right idea by Martin to try to get her head on it, just not enough power on that. If she wants to put that on net, the accuracy was there, the power was not. Nothing's going to happen without any power.
Shot up to midfield. Just seems like whenever Eagle begin to have a couple of touches of the ball, Christos are right back on it, but another opportunity as Murphy will try and give chase, working against Jessica Wallace. She does win the ball first. Oh, it's a beautiful step inside. Oh, fantastic again to her right-hand side. She goes down just inside the box. A couple shots for penalty. Play continues. Christos not out of it just yet, as it is Meg Tate cleaning in, and they do get it away. Wow, what an opportunity that was for Eagle. And now Christos with an opportunity to go the other way. DeRosa just gets free. DeRosa thinking about a shot, and it's just high, always rising.
Not a fan of that shot attempt there. She still had space to dribble up another 5 or 10 yards and get an even better look with a better angle. I understand trying to take it early when you've already been dispossessed for dribbling through the defense, but she had the space. She could have taken another couple touches before taking that shot. Maybe that one doesn't sail high if she's closer.
Played just over 15 minutes here. Still no score between Christos and Eagle. Christian Taylor, Danny Tao are alongside with me. And it seems like EagleFC may be coming into the game a little bit more now.
Yeah, for sure, and that's just kind of the settling in process. You know, it is their first game in USLW League, so there's definitely going to be some nerves there, but you get a couple minutes, you know, you haven't given up a goal yet, especially. So once you can get that comfort level up, it's going to let you possess more instead of just trying to play kick and run like they were at the beginning.
Natalie Holmes was starting that run. Instead, Tori Paul, sophomore out of Maryland, shoots one right to that back line. And EagleFC are able to reset with a still scoreless game. Johnson worked it back to Belfonte, who just got it out of her feet in time for Grace Brown. Brown just keeping her eyes upfield, intending one for Liz Weiss. It's over the head of Hannah Young, who will be looking to get involved in this one today. Senior also out of Nebraska as well. And she has announced she will be playing with James Madison this upcoming season. Now in the Sun Belt. Just made that conference switch from the Colonial. I think I might be picking up some sunburn. We'll see. We'll see.
That sunscreen not helping you at all?
No, it's not. It's not. I appreciate Noah giving me the sunscreen today, but I don't know if it's going to hold long enough. This is a nice turnaround here. But EagleFC able to pick the pocket, and now they will begin their run. Alexandra Murphy had kind of slowed to get to the ball and now turns on the afterburners. Coming across was Lynch, just took off the ball. Counting in on just about 20 minutes played here in this first 45. Still no score. Still a lot of space to maneuver on the left side. Welcomed in by DeRosa. DeRosa thinking about a shot. That's strikers always do, but instead delivers the pass. Lingering here again. Looking for that space. Looking to turn the corner. Shot coming again. And sails high once more.
And I like the shot attempt, but DeRosa's teammates need to move for her. She was guarded by a teammate there. She had some space to operate. If we see Tori Paul maybe make a run in on the right side towards net, DeRosa could have found her, and Paul gets an easy one-on-one with the keeper. But not enough movement from the teammates when the attackers are on the ball.
Kind of seems like this Heat really is doing a nice job here. Trying to intend one there, and instead Holmes will bring this one in, finding Sarah Martin. Martin having a crack at it, and Haley McGee was only interested at the start.
And these Christos players are settling for some long shots here. They've had space and opportunities to get in closer, but they're just not taking them. And now we'll see Camber Hayes coming onto the pitch, Tori Paul coming off. Hayes offering instructions for her teammates on some positional changes here early in the first half. A bit of a surprising switch this early. I guess Coach Ashley Kennelly just not liking what she's seeing.
Camber Hayes, the sophomore out of Miami, Ohio, out of the Mid-Atlantic Conference, Mid-American Conference, I beg your pardon. And EagleFC, we'll see what they can try and do, but see what different change this brings for Christos. Just trying to win this ball back. Bilal doing a really nice job here. She ended up scoring against Patuxent, also had an assist in that game where she had played all 90 minutes. Holmes crosses over this one, bringing it to about the timeline. Took a look over her shoulder here, Vidare, and just got it away in time. Now here's Martin. DeRosa has dropped just a little bit more. She has been perhaps the most intended target today for Christos. Lovely play. Fantastic look here for Garmy, who's trying to catch up to this one right in front, pinballing around, and it leaks to the backside. It will be chased down, though. DeRosa, sophomore out of Maryland, looked to split the defenders and standing too strong. It was Alexis Johnson. Throw in coming for Christos once again in a very deep situation. A lot of standing around right now, and these players already pretty tired up to this point, have been working relatively hard. Only found a red shirt, but won back by Christos.
And we're seeing the Christos back line push up just a little bit more. You know, Eagle not having too many opportunities in the attacking half. So Christos feeling a little more comfortable to push their players up and not sit as many back, playing a little more risky, hoping it pays off early.
24th minute is another DeRosa shot, who has been firing them today, to say the least. This season had a couple of goals in 17 games with the Terps. Had a goal against the Richmond Spiders as well as the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
It just feels like Christos are trying to favor quantity over quality with these shots. They're not getting in close and getting any quality. They're just preferring to sit 25, 30 yards out and put as many on net as they can and hope that one goes through. Unsuccessful so far, but remains to be seen if that'll change.
And definitely, as we mentioned a few times already, these players just have that quality of doing so. But right now, it's the ball not connecting with the foot as much as they'd like it to, and a throw in fairly deep for Christos.
And that's a potential consequence of that higher back line. If we get a better ball from the EagleFC back line, they're potentially in on net. Instead, it's just a little too long for the attacker, and Christos get possession. But those are the dangers of pushing up.
Duffy getting one of her first involvements of the game so far, closing in on 25 minutes played. A quick backtrack to the ball there for Christos, and Holmes upset that she wasn't in the right position for that after the first touch from Bailey DeSmit. Just a little too heavy off that left foot of Emily Clapper. Just finished a senior season at Penn State Berks. Christos on the attack again. This is the new player in Camber Hayes. And Hayes lets it go deep and out. Christos coached by Ashley Kennedy. First season, obviously, for this USLW side. But, wow, what a lot of great success she's had. Over 20-plus years of experience. Played at Maryland, was assistant coach over at George Mason. Currently coach over at Archbishop Spalding, so was in her own stomping grounds there when this team played on Wednesday. And already getting a lot of teaching moments here this season, trying to help develop these players just even more. Caught off extremely nicely by Grace Brown. You see the veteran play by that senior out of Nebraska. And watch out here. They don't quite have the numbers, Eagle, but certainly threatening. Hits off the back of Murphy, who has really been one of the biggest threats so far going forward for Eagle today.
And calling her a threat is a bit of a misnomer. There haven't really been any good Eagle chances as of yet.
It's a roller that just continues out to the corner. Meg Tate is still trying to work to win. Goal kick, though, as it exits play. Emily Clapper, as we mentioned, out of Penn State Berks this season, was All United East first team selection as a midfielder. Had 19 starts, second on the team with 8 goals. 57 shots, though, just continues to keep working. Lovely move by DeSmit, doing a lot of those things, especially at Loyola this season. Oh, another delicious ball to the left-hand side. Bilal with an opportunity, enters the penalty area. Right back out to the perimeter. Getting to this one is Martin. You know, Martin can go from here, looking for the curler, and well wide.
Not enough bend on that one, but that's a more quality chance than we've seen from most of these Christos attempts so far. It's a little bit closer in, that's more within the range. And if she can just get a little curl on that, that's top ends.
And pretty close to playing half an hour here on this hot day, but fortunately for everybody, it's going to get a little bit cooler as the day continues through. But once again, very unique weather weekends and weeks here in the state of Maryland. Holmes looking to see out DeRosa, who just gets it right back to right outside back. And now it is Vidare. Vidare keeps one low, but able to thread through a pass to DeSmit, who tried to help one along to Hayes, and no connection again.
That's unlucky for DeSmit. It's a really, really good idea with the dummy and still the over-the-shoulder pass. If she has a teammate in the right position, that's a shot. That's a one-on-one with the keeper. It's just unlucky. Great idea, unlucky execution.
Still no score between these two sides here at the Moose Complex in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Everybody working through the heat today. Fans, I mean, a great crowd so far. I think it's probably the biggest one of the year, including, you know, a few of the men's games that we saw as well.
Hey, when team shows that it can be as quality as 6-0, it's gonna draw some crowds.
A lot of strong players, and we've only just begun to introduce them today. Murphy got that pass off, trying to connect a few again. Weiss. Murphy making the nice run, and now she can give chase. Showing up the middle is Tate. Looks like Murphy tried to get it to her. Murphy will continue with this and saw a corner was forced. And this is now perhaps the best chance of the game so far for Eagle.
And that's the danger of pushing up so high with that back line. Eagle with 3-on-2 opportunity there. Well done by Jessica Wallace to deflect that ball out for a corner. And that comes with experience at the college level. But you know, it's dangerous pushing that back line up, and maybe this opportunity will have them sit a little deeper.
Johnson now coming in as well from the defensive position. This actually looks pretty dangerous. But Duffy had all the time in the world to welcome that in.
That's a great service. I mean, that's exactly the ball you want. Kind of floating in, kind of in the no man's land for the keeper a little bit. Beautiful ball, just no one there to meet it.
What do you think either of these sides need to do just to, find one in the back of the net here?
I think Christos just needs to make an extra pass in the final third. They've had opportunities and they've had the space to make that extra pass. They're just not taking it and settling for further out shots. If they make that extra pass, take an extra second and find a teammate, they can get good opportunities. And for Eagle, they need to do what they just did on that attack, kind of play it over. With Christos pressing up so high, they have space to play those long balls and run onto them. So they're doing it right just there, and they should probably keep doing that, and then they'll keep getting opportunities.
The couple of chances that Eagle have had, they've all been with Murphy down that right wing, but nothing to come from it so far. And here's another chance with Lynch showing her speed, but still another goal kick after the decent opportunity. And something that is definitely needed today, a whistle for a water break for these two sides. You can tell they are gassed out there. It is a hot one.
Gotta stay hydrated. Very important. No matter what you're doing on a hot day like this, gotta hydrate.
We will also do the same. We will take a very unconventional break to catch our breaths, get going again for about the final 15 minutes here of this opening half between Christos and Eagle. A water break for both sides, and I will say this too, Danny. It's another opportunity that maybe you don't get in regular games, in where it's now you could use that as a timeout for both of these two coaches, kind of reintroduce your game plan.
Yeah, and even from our broadcast position, we can hear these coaches discussing strategy, and you already see the coaches. You hear Ashley Kennedy complimenting her team on executing whatever that new strategy may be.
Well, we have about 13 minutes to go here before halftime. Ice has been brought out, water bottles dumped everywhere. That is just the type of night it is turning out to be. And what is a crazy day here in Baltimore, Maryland. Perhaps this right here, the biggest matchup of the day, as Danny had said prior in the pregame show, with both the Preakness and Adley Rushman getting his debut for the Baltimore Orioles as well today. So, but already we've seen some very intriguing action in the early stages here today.
Absolutely. This is the place to be if you're a sports fan in Maryland. Who needs those other things?
Oh, that's a great ball. One final pass here, fighting DeRosa, and it's saved by McGee. Nothing gets much past her, but she's able to steer that wide.
That's a fantastic save by McGee. If DeRosa goes far post, it's probably in the net. She chose near post, and McGee was sitting on it ready. Fantastic shot, fantastic save.
McGee only playing at non-Division I Westchester, definitely has the talent to play up there as well, as we've certainly seen it here. We've seen it play this entire game. Has a handful of saves too to her name, but keeping her team with it. Tied 0-0 still. Look how far up Caroline Duffy has pushed too for Christos. She's nearly at midfield right now.
Well, there's, with Eagle dropping everyone practically back into the box, there's really no need to sit more than Jessica Wallace, at the center circle.
Dangerous here is looking for that back scorpion kick. Instead, it scoots well out of the penalty area and now out of play for a throw-in for Christos. In case you're just tuning in, Christos are in the gray, Eagle in the red here today. Making their way down from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Goal kick. All is calm. What is kind of cool though about A, being between the benches though where we are, but B, being on a field like this, kind of still off the road a little bit, can hear all the chatter out there and kind of hear what they're trying to do with each other.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. Up in a press box, you don't get that, but down at field level, it kind of informs you. These are the strategies, these are the tactics. This is a little interesting insight for us, and for you, of course.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And we soak it all in. Wouldn't have it any other way. Holmes. Well done now as Emily Clapper was closing in on her. DeRosa on the turnaround, knowing she needs to find a teammate here. Now beginning to get on the front foot, Christos. Oh, here comes the chase here for Christos. Lovely turn. And there is the opening goal for Bailey DeSmit. Christos lead 1-0.
DeSmit adding to her tally on the year, 3 now for Bailey DeSmit. And that's what I was talking about with making that, getting a little closer to the goal for the shots. She didn't settle for a deep shot. She takes it right in and has a one-on-one where she can dribble out and have an easy tap in.
Had a dribble around Haley McGee and did a sensational job of finishing there with that left foot. Again, he just finished a freshman campaign at Loyola. Was named second team All-Patriot League. Was a leading scorer on the team and tied for the lead in points with 9, as well as leading the team with 36 shots. And one of the other things that we might look at seeing today is just how good she is on set pieces. That wasn't one. Now we can see how good she is from open play, but set pieces as well. She's really turning into an overall very complete player, and now it's another Loyola name, another Loyola player, both now on the men's and women's sides, who have made their mark in a pretty big way. Yordi Lucchese had a goal, and a fantastic game when they hosted Northern Virginia not too long ago. Keelan Swales last year on that men's team, and these Loyola names making it work. Here's another opportunity. Wow, that wasn't too far away either. You got to admire the effort by Zoe Vidare going for distance.
And normally I would give that same criticism about the quantity over quality, but that's a center back taking a shot. Go ahead, have one, girl.
Played all 90 minutes against Patuxent. Vidare, part of the Jamaica U20 national team. Was just studying over in Columbus at Ohio State, but has committed to play over at George Mason here for next season. And this is just kind of a welcome back as well, and just getting a taste of, yet again, what the East Coast soccer scene is like. Not to mention perhaps the most admirable thing about Vidare, Gatorade Player of the Year. That is not easy, but here she is winning it.
2-time Gatorade Player of the Year in D.C.
Oh, here comes a chance and a shot from Meg Tate. And one of the first opportunities of the day so far for EagleFC. Tate just finished up her first season at Dickinson. Had 13 starts there, 8 goals to her name, 3 assists. After what was a canceled 2020 season, but in 2019 was perhaps really her best season by far. Scored 20 goals in her first campaign, as she is just coming in now off of her junior season, I beg your pardon, as mentioned earlier, but now is just another threat for this Eagle side. Once again, it's another player that Christos will need to keep their eye on. Holmes, lovely job of cutting inside. Presley, though, able to keep steps with her. Clapper came back and was at least able to dispossess Christos. Still caught in a very dangerous area. Johnson got it forward. Holmes sniffing it out of the reach of DeRosa, who's just trying to stay behind the ball. Johnson with a brief deflection off of DeSmit and not taking any chances. That one's cleared all the way beyond midfield.
You can just see the effect of this weather on Natalie Holmes. I mean, he made a good run forward and was trying to help her teammate there, but just a little bit out of gas, and maybe on a cooler day, that's not the case.
Another chance coming from Martin. It's off the goalpost, and still colliding with this one, McGee comes away with the ball. Oh, goodness me, would have been perhaps the goal of the season.
Looks like Christos, they're still trying their long chances, starting to bring them down a little bit after missing a couple in a row high. I mean, we'll see if they can get a golazo.
Just off the crossbar. And Eagle, you have to imagine, certainly very, very pleased that it's still only just 1-0 right now. But now Eagle trying to go the other way. Oh, through for Clapper. She did hit the back of the net, but there was a foul that will bring it back. Did not play advantage here.
Christos a little lucky to get away with that one. No advantage played, but still a dangerous situation with about a 20-yard free kick. This will be the first opportunity, I think, outside of that corner kick to really see what Duffy's got in net today.
Well, Liz Weiss was a part of that mayhem as well, but here is Hannah Young, senior from Nebraska. She can hit them from here. She might have a go as Duffy is adjusting her wall. Literally makeable range right here. You might be only thinking just shot off that right foot of Hannah Young. Let's see what she decides to do. Will shoot, and Duffy able to smother this one.
And a good job by Duffy, not just to save that, but to hold it too. Eagle attackers crashing in, and if Duffy spills that, that's a tap-in goal for Eagle. Good job holding it.
Well, Christos able to avoid the threat here for Eagle, perhaps their biggest one in this first half. Martin thought she had her teammate right ahead of her. Instead, it is DeRosa who try and give chase with this ball as Johnson to split the defenders instead. Will keep it with the defense.
And we've seen multiple times now from both teams where players are making passes expecting their teammates to make runs and be there. And probably because of the weather, they're not making those runs, content to just try to get an extra second or two of rest. So it adjusts your tactics a little bit. You can't expect your teammates to be making all their usual runs because they aren't.
To Smith again. She has the goal so far for Christos. Oh, DeRosa once again in a very dangerous area. Huge tackle made there by Brown. Redirect and saved again by McGee, leaping out of her cleats. And it's out. Play continues though. Never completely exited play. Another pursuit here from Bilal. Centers one up and caught by McGee. Another great pace of play for Christos.
Excellent work by McGee on both saves. I mean, that first shot was a laser. That was going in the top shelf. Excellent save. And then on the rebound, too. Had a little time to reset herself, which was lucky, but still a fantastic effort so far to keep this deficit at 1.
Yeah, still just 1-0 here. The Moose Complex in Glen Burnie, Maryland. So glad to have you all with us here on this Saturday afternoon turning into evening. So we have reached the 42nd minute here to halftime. That's I certainly want to be looking for. Get a break.
Yeah, even a water break halfway through is, playing in this heat, it takes energy out of you quickly. So have both teams, I'm sure, looking forward to getting out of the sun for a couple minutes and getting some fluid in their systems.
Holmes does a great job of directing some traffic. To Smith wasn't able to track back to that one in time as she's slow to get to her feet on a very, very hot day. Oh, it's a poor pass that it goes right to Liz Weiss, and Liz Weiss is 1-on-2. She may try shooting and testing. Duffy goes for it. Oh, just beyond the post. Not a bad effort at all.
Not at all. You find the keeper out of position. If you think you can make it, you take it. And clearly she was capable of making it just a little to the right.
Let me ask you this, Danny. If that was on target, is that going in?
Tough to say. Duffy was backtracking pretty well on it, but those are also incredibly difficult for a goalkeeper to read. Going back and still trying to judge, okay, do I tip this? Do I let it go? Probably wouldn't have gone in. Duffy would probably play it safe, but you never know.
Wouldn't know unless we actually saw it happen. Just if ands or buts. DeRosa, oh, she has been so brilliant on the ball today. And now works it with her left foot. Oh, and Grace Brown sliding in. Maybe been one of the best players along with Haley McGee back there today. Tate, and watch out. Eagle now beginning to build up a little more momentum. Well, just before I say that, Hannah Young was the intended target, and it scoots right on by her. Another missed opportunity for Eagle to try and work it into their attacking third. Just got it away in time. Duffy Not too much time remaining here. So we are under just a couple of minutes. And it rolls out for a throw. Let's see if either of these two teams have any other twist to conclude this opening 45 minutes. Lone goal today has been scored by Bailey DeSmith. That is her third of the season. Scored twice against Patuxent, a game in which she only played 45 minutes. Fadare looking forward. Once again, right back to it is DeRosa. It's one of her big trademark moves. And finally, Bilal with another rundown with Carly Smith standing right on her, face guarding her. Bilal crossing one in, headed out, still nearby. Martin going again, too high once more.
It's about the third time, maybe even more, that we've seen Martin have a shot from that range and go high. We'll see if she can fix that in the second half.
And that's it for the first 45 minutes. And after the water break, not too long after the water break, Christos were able to break through. Bailey DeSmith with the goal. And Christos here after the first 45 minutes, leading Eagle 1-0. Back in 10-15 minutes to conclude this one here at the Moose.
All right, perfect. All right, can I turn it on now?
Yes.
I'll wait till Danny's.
All right.
Double Point Elementary School project. Yeah. Moose just gonna heat right back up. Although it should get a little cooler now. It's about to get nice. Really?
I like having the
a
table
little bit
though,
darker.
guys.
It'll be great. All right, here we go. Audio on.
Nearing the start of the second half between Christos and EagleFC. I'm Christian Taylor with Danny Tao here on 11 Sports. So glad to have you with us today. Those of you in your air-conditioned homes, we are out here in the sun. Although it's not quite as unbearable for this second half, but either way, ready to go for half number 2. Christos, once again, in the gray. Eagle in the red. Eagle only had maybe a chance or two there in that first 45, but Christos perhaps most of the possession, including a goal from Bailey DeSmith, her third of the season, and the lone goal so far of this game. So it's just about the same as it was against Patuxent on Wednesday with the 1-0 scoreline. So we will see what this second 45 will bring. Danny, what do you expect here, and what did you see there in the first 45?
I'm expecting a little burst of energy from these teams coming out of the break. You know, playing in the heat takes a lot out of you, like I said earlier. So they got a break. They'll have a little burst of energy before they settle into the half. I think we might get a goal within the first 5 minutes here. While these teams have energy, I'm sure both coaches were encouraging that.
Wow, what a statement here from Danny Tao. We'll see if there is a goal within the first 5 minutes. And here comes a chance down the left side. Megan Garmy, who has still stayed out there. A little crossover and a corner kick for Christos. Opportunity. So there is one change. Taylor Tolson comes on for Natalie Holmes as right back for Christos. So Tolson playing at Coastal Carolina, just finished her sophomore season there.
And we saw that exact same flip on Wednesday. Tolson played the first half, Holmes played the second, both impacting the game very heavily. Tolson had the goal off the corner, though, last Wednesday. So we'll see if she can repeat the feat.
Saying at 5'8", so one of the taller ones out there. And here comes in that cross. This one is hit very low. It did just stay in enough for a clearance as it dribbles all the way down this left sideline. Looks like they might make a switch at the ball here. Legend Brian Graham brings it back here to the scorer's table. Restarted. And Christos will begin the push. Wallace playing as that right center back, playing at Temple, just finished her freshman campaign there. A brief deflection that works one into the deep corner, one for Gina Presley. Forward it goes. Tate with the touch and is dispossessed immediately.
And we could hear some bits and pieces of Ashley Kennedy's halftime team talk, and she was really, really emphasizing wanting to play out of the back, have the ball at her center back's feet a little bit more, try to have them start the attack, and that's what we just saw. So we'll see if they keep doing it.
Couple of touches here just outside the penalty area. Bilal with a lovely pass back, finding her teammates. Back up it goes. Now Bilal had a lot of space there on that left-hand side in the opening 45. Might try to exploit it again. A big thud as the attempt from Camber Hayes is deflected as she almost wins this one right back. The tire's blown there from Eagle, and another chance for Christos. They'll slowly possess this. Lynch throws one right into the teeth of the defense. Here comes Murphy, who had some of the better runs there in the first 45. Showing her youth out there and is asking for the ball, just continues to run, and she will get to this one first. If she can keep it in, she gets the crossover. Oh, off the crossbar. Backside for Clapper. Very, very close here for Eagle. And picking up the pieces, it is Camber Hayes, and it's out for a throw.
You're starting to see some wear and tear on Juliana Lynch there. Played 90 on Wednesday, played the full first half, and just a little slow to recover to her player on that throw-in, which leads to the through ball, which leads to the opportunity. You know, it's tough to play out there in these conditions, but you got to keep your energy up if you're going to do it and play well.
Juliana Lynch, playing at West Virginia, just finished her junior season, will be coming back here to the state of Maryland, playing with the Terps next season. She had played in all 16 this season. Once again, another player well over 1,000 minutes. And Murphy can't quite slither through the defense. Standing strong was Vidare. Throw in for Eagle. This is Eagle's first game this season in the USLW League. These are two of just a handful of teams in this division, along with Patuxent, who Christos just saw on Wednesday, McLean as well, Northern Virginia. So one of three teams who have both a men's and women's team here.
And this is an important game for the early positioning. You know, only 10 games in the regular season for these teams. If Christos can get a win here, go 2-0 early with 2 home games against 2 teams that are going to be competitive in this division, it's going to take them a long way.
Let's mention Eagle will come here again this season as well, actually the finale. So we'll see where these two teams are at that point in the season. But right now, it is Christos with a 1-0 lead. Bilal, slithers right through again. She's been very active there on that left flank. And she receives the ball again. Right before Hannah Young almost picked her pocket. And a fantastic challenge made by Meg Tate. Here come Eagle. Liz Weiss on the cross. Dealt with well. Lingering by is Young again, but a lovely first touch by DeRosa, who dropped back for it. And now it looks like Christos have just avoided the danger again.
And that's some incredible trust by center backs who don't have a lot of time playing with each other in Vidare and Wallace. Vidare could have made a lunge at the ball, get an awkward attempt to deflect that ball out. Instead, leaves it for Wallace to clear out because she knows that she's better position and trusting that her fellow center back is going to get to that ball before an attacker does. For players that don't have that much play time together, that's really much tougher to do than it looks.
Played just about 5 minutes here in this second half, so I think we're out of that 5-minute range, though, of a goal. But there could have been a couple. To your credit, Danny, there have been some chances.
What if they score here? Then
I'd still give it to you. Well, here it comes. Martin, left foot shot. Absolutely rocket off that left leg. Goal kick.
Sarah Martin, you could have made me a psychic. But, it's a good effort, just a little bit too wide. If, put it on net, maybe it's a goal. But the opportunities are there for Christos, and if they can keep getting them, eventually one's got to go through.
Sarah Martin, we're talking about one of the strongest legs that you will see really this entire season. That is just how good she is, and she was doing great things over there in Vermont. Graduated in 2017, so still just a handful of years removed from her time with the Catamounts, and is still up to pace with everybody else out there.
And it's incredible to see, like you said, being a few years out while all of these other players are still in college, still getting that, 9 months a year of college workout program exercise to keep yourself in shape, to keep up with them is really incredible.
Bilal, once again, looking to wiggle through a few red shirts. Wasn't able to do so. Here's Carly Smith, freshman over at High Point, and it's cut off by her teammate in Megan Garmy. So there is a contribution there from both of these two stars with the Panthers. And now Juliana Lynch. Lynch looking to step over to that right side. Through ball coming for Tolson, who catches up to it. Tolson on the cross. What a boot that was. And it leaks to the backside for Bilal. At the edge of the penalty area, Bilal also sending one in. And a missed header in such a great area. It could have been 2-0.
That's about as good of an opportunity as you are going to get. A free header, back post, keeper coming across the line, not going to get there most likely. If you can get any kind of contact on that towards the goal, that's a goal. And that's a big, big miss for Christos, only being up 1.
DeRose has had a handful of chances today. What a weapon she is up top. Had a couple of shots against Patuxent on Wednesday. Still wasn't quite able to record that goal, but with the play that she's been able to produce already this season, you feel like one's got to be coming. Bilal. Murphy standing strong and very, very impressed by Alexandra Murphy over there. Or beg your pardon, that was Carly Smith who just got in the way. Murphy still lingering by, though. Still been very, very impressed with what she's been able to bring to the table today. DeRosa. Now she's got a lot of room to maneuver. Will also pop this one in. And once again, well over the cage.
And it looked like she was trying to go for accuracy instead of power there. A little bit of a floating shot towards the net. And even despite going for accuracy, still put it a little high. It's been a bit of an issue for Christos today. They've had a lot of these long shots go high. Got to get the head down over the ball instead of looking up while they're shooting. They're leaning back and putting it high. It's not a field goal, It's a normal goal.
What a track that was by DeRosa, who's just all of a sudden dropped down. Lynch showing her nifty footwork. Has to stay very aggressive here with Belfonte closing in. Belfonte, junior out of Kutztown University of Pennsylvania. That's in Division II. Played 11 games, started 4 this season. Right idea, as it was once again Sarah Martin lingering, but nothing doing.
Sarah Martin playing up a little bit higher than we've seen her for the last 135 minutes here in this half. Making an attacking run like that where she was previously playing in the midfield. So it's an interesting dynamic. Clearly she's had, the most shots on the field today. Maybe that's Ashley Kennedy just trying to get the hot leg up in front of the net.
Yeah, that is a leg, to say the least. We've seen it on display multiple times today. Garmy right in front of Carly Smith. Here they are, teammates looking to go 1v1 here. Sneaks through, just got it off. Once again, it was DeSmit looking to pounce on the opportunity, and it's outletted to Murphy as we get a cool brush of wind here in Glen Burnie. Murphy cuts in, finds a pass to Liz Weiss, has a lot of space here on this right-hand side. Weiss on the cross all the way through, intending one for Tate, was just in front of her as Tate looked like just running out of a little bit of steam as she was working into the penalty area. Quickly going back, Christos, offsides flag is up against Bailey DeSmit.
And that Eagle attack could have been so much more if they just got off the extra touches. I mean, they had a perfect through ball looking for Meg Tate. If take an extra touch, and then you play Meg Tate wide, and if Tate plays it early into the box, Carly Smith has an open shot, but instead takes an extra touch or two, then plays it in, and Christos is able to clear it out. Eagles still a little hesitant on the ball. I think that's another symptom of that of being on the first game. So you would think by the second half they would settle in a bit more, but clearly not.
All their attacks have come down that right flank, by the way, in case those of you are just tuning in here. Still 1-0. Christos in the lead of EagleFC. Martin looking out for Bilal, who gets that chest trap down. Overlap coming from Garmy, and just undercut by Murphy. And Murphy able to shield that out. Throw for Eagle.
It's a nice introduction to your future High Point teammate. How do you do? A little battle on the pitch.
Murphy, Penn Live Player of the Year, helped Central Dauphin High School to state semifinals. Had an injury-riddled sophomore campaign there. Couldn't even play until she was able to work her way back into the fold. Handed off here to DeSmit. Has the opportunity. Give her 2 on the day. Christos lead by that margin.
And I mentioned earlier, Christos seemed to be settling for a lot of longer shots instead of making the extra pass. Well, Bootsy DeRosa made the extra pass there. Didn't try and turn and have an off-balance shot. Found DeSmit charging in from the left. DeSmit gets the easy one-on-one with the keeper, curls it around. For a player of her quality, that's easy enough, but it takes the extra pass to make it happen.
Wasn't quite 5 minutes, but pretty close. Yeah. Pretty close, about 15. That's right. Just you meant to put a 1 in front of that.
Yeah, my bad. Been a while since, we're broadcasters. We're not math majors.
That's right. Oh, look at Murphy all of a sudden looking to get one back here for Eagle and almost forced that corner kick, but it ricocheted only very lightly off of Vidare. Good job by Grace Brown, who now has a little bit of space here. Brown will shoot. Curls over. Goal kick.
Interesting to see the center back charging forward like that, but if you've got the space, the confidence, and the ability, which Grace Brown clearly has all 3 and had, time there to get a good shot off, just put it, you can see what she was trying to do, going for the top left. Couldn't put it there right where she wanted, but it's a decent effort.
Sun is beginning to set here in beautiful Maryland, and now this is turning into a gorgeous evening as the weather's cooling down just a tad.
Should give us a good conclusion of this game. The heat going down a little bit, give the players a little extra burst of energy they might need.
Does seem a little bit quicker, though, in the second half, doesn't it, Danny?
Yeah, exactly. I think that halftime really gave them some chance to re-energize. When you come out and it feels a little 5 degrees lower, then get a second wind.
When it's 95 degrees, 5 degrees is monumental.
Every degree counts.
Yes, it does. So goal kick for Eagle. This is Haley McGee, who has really had a nice handful of saves today, but really the only one she hasn't been able to stop has been Bailey DeSmit, who got 4 goals on the season now, 2 tonight. DeRosa kind of started up all that mayhem. Hands one off for Lynch. Lynch keeping that head on a swivel. Gets this one away in time. Garmy. Lynch again. Oh, fantastic turnaround. But still trying to select a pass. Finally, one of her teammates shows once again it is Garmy. Garmy once again in the area. Popped back. Just continuing to add the pressure here, Christos. DeSmit got one up to DeRosa, looking to return the favor. DeRosa goes down. Play continues. That was DeRosa, gets right back to her feet, but she still continues to add the pressure. Oh, and Brown slipped away in time. Weiss went forward. Here's Murphy. Murphy now running into the shadows of the Moose Complex. Murphy goes again. Corner kick.
Every time a cross has been made, one of Vidare or Wallace has been there, forming a brick wall in the back.
Nothing's been getting past them. I mean, they've gotten the looks down the right flank, but then once they try to cross it into the penalty area, deflected immediately.
No go. It's almost like they know where the ball is going before the ball is even played. Outstanding defending.
Hannah Young to take this corner, and it was never in play, and a missed opportunity for the visitors.
As of right now, these corners and the one free kick just outside the box in the first half, they've been the only real good quality chances that Eagle have had. A couple decent shots in the run of play, but nothing you would call a good, solid chance. I mean, these corners, not great balls played in for Eagle, and so it's just missed opportunity after missed opportunity for them. When being down 2, you need to take every chance you can get.
Goal kick for Duffy. And welcomes itself into the fans there on the opposite side. 2-0, Christos Bailey DeSmit with both goals here tonight. And once again, Christos trying to possess the ball. Julia Belfonte stood her ground. Looks like a few subs will be coming in very shortly for Eagle as well. Smith. Cut off again nicely. Wow, Wallace, you know, we haven't mentioned her name too much today, but that's just because she's been that good, hasn't really caused any issues.
Exactly. Being a good defender, it's almost like being a good referee. If you're doing your job well, don't get talked about.
That was a great touch, but McGee sticks out that left hand and saves a third for going in for Christos. Watch out. Good shield by DeSmit. Shot coming again. Goodness me. Haley McGee does it again. Corner kick forced.
Fantastic goalkeeping by McGee. I mean, my goodness, just to keep shot after shot out, to keep your focus high on the rebounds as well. It's the reason Eagle is still in this game, and this deficit isn't 3, 4, 5.
But another dangerous set piece coming up for the home side. Hit low, hit in front, grazed off the net. Goal kick. And 3 changes will come in for Eagle. Looks like Kelly Hendricks, redshirt senior from Columbus State, will make her way in. Leah Jensen as well, junior out of Lock Haven, as well as Jocelyn Coons for Eagle. And the race has been run. Emily Clapper steps off. Julia Belfonte walks off. And Carly Smith, the other player to make way for Eagle. So let's see what these changes are able to do here, as brings out some fresh legs, certainly.
Yeah, and, you know, with the heat kind of being gone, you think these fresh legs, you know, the players who have had to play through the heat and more gas than they normally would after about 60 minutes of play. So getting some fresh legs on at a time like this is crucial, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Christos do the same very soon.
Yeah, Christos certainly do have those players on the bench. Bilal, oh, lovely step over. She could try and get a goal here, all the way across. Goal kick.
That's a beautiful solo run by Aria Bilal to stay in space and where she has it, and then to step over to get around the defender and get a clean look on net. Doesn't end up putting the shot on net, but just to have that opportunity is well done.
Throw in coming. Bilal. Oh, great turn again. She might try to fire one. Very, very loud thud of the ball. As it looks out, shouts for handball. Play continuing here. The official saying no and allowing Kelly Hendricks to continue play.
And, you know, you can agree or disagree on the call, but I think what we've seen consistently from these referees today is that they're letting them play for the most part. You know, no real ticky-tack fouls being called, and you like the consistency even if you don't agree with every call.
It allows this game to have some flow. And I know, at least from a broadcaster standpoint, when there's a lot of fouls, when there's a lot of stoppages, it's hard even for yourself to get into a rhythm too. So something like this has been really nice, especially to watch, but you know, for us as well.
Absolutely.
Lynch. Still has some space, has it go! Lynch does it here for Christos to make it 3-0.
That's a ripper into the back of the net. And, you know, Lynch looked like she had some space down that left side. She had just a bit more energy to make that run, kind of lacking that after playing so much the last several days. But, you know, still does well to cut in, get on her right foot, and then just put a laser into the upper right. McGee's played very well. Not much she could do about that one, though.
Yeah, no, when you're firing it at almost 100 miles per hour there off that right foot of Lynch, that's very, very difficult to stop. And this is turning into a very similar situation as it was on Wednesday against Patuxent. EagleFC just looking for something. Getting right back to her feet. Lynch slowly now. Now she's back up. Young. Cut off again. Lynch has got another ball. Looking for somewhere to go with this. A weird bouncer that took a hop off of DeRosa. Looks like a couple subs. Natalie Clearfield as well as Danielle Campbell about to enter for Christos here tonight. In a game that has continued on. Sharp hit right at Murphy. And Murphy is beat out by Garmy. Off the ball is Hayes, but still able to keep the possession with Christos FC now leading 3-0.
You love to see the trust in the center backs. Danger in the midfield, potentially lose the ball and give up a counterattack. But when you trust your center backs, you can play it back to them and know that they can control the ball, control possession, play it where they want it to go. It goes a long way towards keeping possession and getting goals.
Shout from the coaching staff for Christos just to push up just a little bit more. Slightly nervy, at least from our angle. Looked like if it was hit with a little bit more power, Grace Brown would have been scoring on herself there, but it is now with Johnson. Johnson finding Murphy. It has always gone to this right side and has a great one too. As Kelly Hendricks works one over to Presley. Presley. Murphy right to this one. Tried the very swift footwork and still earns the throw.
Once again, this Christos back line is a brick wall. No crosses are coming in. And even the ones that do, not very good.
This play will continue. No, it looks like they will make these subs now. So it looks like Juliana Lynch will exit for Christos here. And the same goes to Megan Garmy. Megan Garmy is out here for Christos. Here it goes once again to this left-hand side. Giving chase, Liz Weiss. You know, she's had a few strong runs tonight, but nothing has fully come to fruition for Eagle really on the evening.
Seeing a little bit of a positional switch up now with these subs. You got Arya Bilal seemingly switching to the right back position now. So it's interesting to see how these get some fresh legs up top. Looks like Christos hunting for some more goals.
As well, when they've had 6 goals that they scored on Wednesday, you know they feel they can still continue to tack them on the scoreboard. And you see DeRosa delivering another fantastic ball. Martin, right to the center it goes. Lovely footwork again. Martin looking with that left foot, takes a shot. And McGee right in front of it.
If McGee's not in position there, that one is in the net. That's a laser off the foot. And a good job by Danielle Campbell just to roll the ball in. Not do too much, just lay it off for your teammate so that your teammate can get a quality shot. Here's an opportunity.
Pick back up again here, and it's out for a goal kick. Another chance.
And you'd like to see the high press, and that's just a result of tired legs on, in the Eagle defense. The Eagle defense has had a lot more to do than the Christos defense, and as a result, Christos defense is a little bit fresher than the Eagle defense. And, tired legs make for mistakes, and that was certainly a mistake. Could have been disastrous. Could have been a fourth, but crisis averted because that ball went wide.
Bilal, oh, look at that speed. Able to power Presley off the ball, and it forces a corner kick for Christos.
Where she draws the energy for that, I'm not sure. Played 90 on Wednesday, played every minute today. That's impressive.
She almost might play at the full 90 again tonight. We'll see what Coach Kennedy thinks.
Definitely going to earn her orange slices after this one.
Doesn't that sound good?
Oh,
They take the short corner. Cross upcoming to Smith, into traffic. Intended one for Vidare, and now the break could be on for Eagle as it's basically 2-on-2 going the other way. Tolson quickly tracking back. The pass is on, looking to cross over this and dealt with in time by the Christos defense. And it's out for a throw.
That's about as good as we've seen Eagle on the attack today. I mean, just getting them out in space off the corner and having the opportunity to run a little bit is really what is going to give them an opportunity to maybe get a goal here, because as of right now, they aren't getting anything by the back line.
So this will be it for Lexi Johnson on the day. Anna Maidock is the one who comes in, junior out of Thomas Jefferson. Her sister Emma also on the team, actually traveled today but did not dress. She plays down at George Washington. Cross coming. Duffy will need to deal with this, and she does. And will allow her defense to completely clear out for her. And I think, folks, it is time for the sunglasses to come off.
Thankfully. This breeze feels delightful for us, and it must feel twice as nice for these players. My goodness.
This is what we've been waiting for. We knew this would come at some point in the night, and now it's finally here. Sweltering today, and kind of an understatement, to say the least. Well, closing in on about 15 minutes remaining here in this second half, with Christos leading 3-0 over EagleFC. Oh, kind of spiked it there. Wide open opportunity for Christos. And right into the waiting hands of McGee. And once again placed herself very well. Immediately thrown out to Murphy. I saw that Campbell wasn't making it easy. Bilal thinking about it. Right beyond DeRosa. Good step through. DeRosa again. Took a deflection. Hops over. McGee was praying that that's exactly the route it was going to take, and a clear corner kick.
Coming up on the water break here for the second half, I'm sure the players are going to need it. They're not going to know that they're this close. If they did, I'm sure they'd be giving everything they got on this corner, knowing that a rest is just seconds away, likely coming on the next stoppage after this corner.
The in-swinger. Hit low. Well, dealt with at the start by Leah Jensen, who's just come on. Still in a dangerous opportunity for Christos. Rolled back out. Wallace looks forward. Oh, perhaps if no intervention was made, it wouldn't have set up this chance now for Christos. Martin going low again, down to her left-hand side. McGee has got it again.
Martin is firing, and McGee has been ready every time for her. Unlucky by Martin, honestly, not to have a goal by this point, but McGee, despite giving up 3, has been playing very well, and then had arguably Eagles' best player, I think.
Could be more than 3. It definitely could be. As DeRosa goes down. The official all over the stoppage of play. And we might be near a water break here on this very hot evening. But perhaps not spoiling what is another set-piece chance for Christos. That would give them a full opportunity to draw something up. But allow this play to fully end.
I mean, this one's going to get floated in. We can see just who can get their head on it first.
Might almost go for goal here. McGee came out for it.
Good idea. Execution not quite there. Played a little too close to the mouth of the goal for anyone to get a touch, except for McGee.
Well, you know, she has the leg to get it in there, into the back of the net, but just went elsewhere with it. McGee once again on top of that one. DeSmit was offsides, as perhaps the ball was looking to get to her. Instead, goal kick, and that is the sign of the water break. Well, not too much time left, about under 15 minutes to go. And Christos, they do lead 3-0. We will take a break as well as these two teams resort it out. Final stretch of this game due up on 11 Sports. Well, the final couple of changes on for Christos as well. As entering here, Elena Lynchard comes right in for Wallace, freshman out of Middle Tennessee State. And then Annie Wickett, graduated from UConn in 2015. She is out there as well, just kind of patrolling the midfield.
Wickett, fresh back from overseas as well, playing with the U.S. Para Women's National Team in the IFCPF World Cup. Scored a goal in the final, actually. Go USA.
Somebody who has played absolutely everywhere in her entire career. You know, she played as a goalkeeper when she first started her college ball over at Eastern Kentucky. After playing a little bit of midfield and defense in high school, and then continued on, played over at UConn, played in every match, played over 2,000 minutes there, and did a good job of, you know, keeping the door shut as well defensively, but scored her first ever goal in the NCAA tournament. So it's, again, as we mentioned, you just mentioned there, scoring in the final. She scores in the big moments. And meanwhile, Eagle looking for a big moment. One-timer coming! Oh, and that one's in! Eagle have one. Meg Tate on the one-timer. Just kind of keeps them in the conversation of this one here tonight.
Yeah, and Christian, you mentioned on our pregame show, you were very confident that Eagle was going to get one, and you're right about that. Not much Duffy can do there. She got a hand to it, but it just was maybe a finger to it, maybe. Not enough to prevent it from going into the goal. Instead, it curls into the bottom right, and Eagle have life.
You could say they have liftoff, perhaps. And here come the changes. Caitlin Brumbaugh is on, as well as Amelia Matzione. Liz Weiss is off. Again, had a couple of runs made on the evening. But that is all. And that will be it for the subs. Almost. Molly Krizwicki, backup goalkeeper for Eagle, is still just sitting there in case she's needed. We'll see if this adds a little bit of fire to Christos as well, now that they have allowed their first goal ever as an organization. Picked off nicely. Tolson sniffed it out. One back here from Martin.
And you hate to be the one to break the clean sheet streak, even if you are, only the second game ever.
Decent chance there, but it was cut off at the last moment. Touched by Tate, brings it out wide. This is Coons. Coons thought she had her teammate in Kelly Hendricks streaking down the right side, but unable to get anything to go there. Well, Eagle now with their first goal in the USLW League. And it was just one brief counterattack that was able to get it. And actually, Duffy, to her credit, she did get a finger on that too, but just couldn't quite keep it out.
Yeah, it's just tough for the goalkeeper when it's going far post and you're sitting on the wrong side. You can do what you can. There's just not much that you can do.
Bilal, hard done as she gets whistled for the foul. Closing in on just about 10 minutes to go. Still a little bit of time for Eagle, but not much. Cut off immediately. Chance coming. Wickets. Another lovely through ball, been happening quite a bit here today. East Side's been relatively clinical when it's come to some of their passing, and the shot, almost off balance by Danielle Campbell, is easily corralled once again by Haley McGee.
And right there is where you see the impact of fresh legs. Danielle Campbell not playing the full 90, coming off the bench in the second half, able to get to that ball first before Hannah Young, who's played the full game. So, you know, those fresh legs really coming into play. Not a great shot, but just the ability to win possession is so big, even if you're already winning, just to help run some clock a little bit more.
Here come Eagles sniffing one out. Under 10 minutes remaining. Just caught up here in the middle by DeRosa, and she's taken off the ball. Amelia Manzione has immediately made an impact. Oh, instead it rolls nicely to Campbell. Oh, between the legs, excellent dummy by Martin. Another veteran move. Wicket up front, sliding out is Brown. Brown again. Up it goes, and immediately brought right back in by Christos. Every chance now for Eagle. Christos have been able to knock on the door, get that ball right back. Play continues yet again. Just looking around her on just what teammate she wants to get it to, Hayes. And instead, a very deep drop ball to clear field.
Not the worst thing in the world for Christos to reset here. Take a couple seconds off the clock as we're in the final couple minutes of the game. So just let you know, you're up 3-1. You don't have to score again. You can just run clock and be comfortable with that.
3 certainly looking like it might be enough, though. As Eagle, they did get one after trailing 3-0 earlier.
3 has been a magic number for Christos this year. Men's team winning with 3 goals both games and 6 goals for the ladies on Wednesday. So keep it in multiples of 3. Say it's a magic number.
It's true. Schoolhouse Rock certainly told us that as well. Deep throw for Eagle. Well, if this result stays like this here, Danny, and Eagle fall here tonight, which it looks like it's going to just about close out that way, what do you take from this game if you're them?
For Eagle, I think it's a solid first showing. You know, you're coming out against a team that playing 3 days ago, maybe a little sore in the legs, but has that chemistry from playing together versus first game of the season. You're coming in a little rusty. So you can take comfort in the fact that you got 1 goal, you had some positive moments, so there is something to build upon, and you go forward. You know, it's tough to win every game, especially in the USLW league. It might be a new league, but there's a lot of quality on these teams, so you know, there's a foundation to build upon, and I would expect when the replay takes place in Harrisburg in mid-June that this is going to be a different Eagle team.
Yeah, if one thought that this is already showing some good signs here for Eagle, just imagine what they're going to look like down the road. And these are a lot of the players who will be sticking around this year. Their roster pretty solid, pretty packed together. And certainly some other players they can toss in there, but this is at least a good majority of them and be playing a lot of minutes this year.
And you're going to get tired by the end of the year, but you get good experience and you get good chemistry, and that's what this league's ultimately all about.
Here's Bilal. Coach Kennedy told her, you know, she needs to get a goal here. That's how good she's been today and how close she's been to squeezing one just beyond Haley McGee. DeRosa, she's played this entire game too. It's just continued to work. It's really kept the same pace, it seemed like, for this almost entirety of 90 minutes.
Absolutely. It's so tough to do, but that just speaks to playing at a major program like Maryland, maybe a little bit better in the training and equipment department than some of the D2 and D3 schools that several of these other players are playing at.
Here's the goal scorer, Meg Tate. It was Kelly Hendricks who, yet again, was just trying to move along the right sideline and just couldn't cut it in time. Looks like a lot of tired legs out there, too. Just trying to get to that 90th minute. cut off here again. Just about 5 minutes remaining here. Hendricks stays on it here. Oh, fantastic work. Tried to split the legs, it seemed. And another chance. There's an open corner of the net, and Duffy, you know, she had that whole goal kind of ranged in, and there she was diving to her right-hand side.
And another testament to the brick wall that the Christos defense has been. The players changed a little bit, but even Elena Lynchard coming in at center back and still deflecting that pass when unlucky with where the pass ended up, but still getting in front of it, not letting it through her.
And actually a rare foul whistle tonight, now that I'm thinking about it. We haven't seen that much today.
No, we have not, and it's a testament to, I think, both teams' quality, that there's less of a need to foul, but also just the referees themselves calling it, maybe not every call, but they're consistent, and that's a good thing.
It's just been a very smoothly running game, to say the least. Quick step over there, turned by Coons. We've seen some good things here. Hendricks continuing the run. She slides down. Play continues. DeRosa once again finding Wicket. Looking to sneak one through. Back on sides here is Martin. DeRosa, look out. They have to turn around the defense. Goes for it again. Curler cut off by McGee.
And the main takeaway I'm seeing from that play, I mean, Allie Clearfield just told Kelly Hendricks, get in the weight room. You can't keep up with me.
Jeez. That's the other perk of being able to hear all this too down on there on the pitch, being this close, I guess.
You know, I'm not sure she actually said that, but she may as well have.
And it will be offsides. So, will be a restart for Christos in the defensive end. Well, what do they have from here? Well, it is a trip to play McLean, who has already had a decent showing here to start the season. And, you know, McLean, that's a program as well, who's kind of similar to Eagle in where they, you know, they're able to develop from younger. And one thing is for certain is they produce nothing but Division I talent as well, including a lot of players who are now currently playing over at Georgetown. Here is Meg Tate inside the penalty area, crossing through, and Hannah Young converts. The score is 3-2. Sets up a very nervy final 4 minutes here.
You know, Christian, I don't know what you were doing, but you hit this scoreline. I don't know if you're a betting man. You might want to play the lottery after this one. So that's just, you know, Eagle wanting it more. You know, down 3-1 in a game, don't want to take a loss in the first game of the season, though it certainly looks likely. But you draw one back, help your goal differential at the least. Just well done, good fight.
That's 3-2 now. They were down 3-0. Shouts just to continue, and Eagle feel like they're there. Tate is close. Duffy intervenes. Up it goes over the head of Mancione, who could have brought it back into a good area for Eagle.
And Christos need to drop, well, they would have needed to drop deeper had we kept playing, but that was not the case.
That's it. As there is the final whistle, as Christos do escape with a 3-2 victory over EagleFC here tonight. Well, working with a lot of obstacles here tonight with the heat, the sunburn that I have tried to survive beyond, Danny. The just fantastic play between these two sides. Not a working clock on the opposite side as well, but I tell you what, folks, an enjoyable evening to say the least, as Christos come away with, well, the scoreline maybe makes it look a little bit closer than what it was today, but still a victory, and hats off to Eagle for continuing to fight to the end.
Absolutely. You know, credit to Eagle, even going down 3, just to come back, get one, get another, and still try to play the ball forward to find an equalizer right at the end. Full credit to them. Didn't get a win, but definitely earned some respect from Christos before they play again.
All the goals scored by Bailey DeSmith. She scored a couple. Juliana Lynch also had one, a Fire, which is now the game winner, that goal for Lynch. So that is where this one ends tonight, as well as the goals for Eagle FC, as Hannah Young got the second one of the night. Meg Tate made it 3-1 a little bit earlier in the evening, but that was just about all through this one. Danny, any final thoughts from what was a fascinating one tonight?
Like I said, 3 is the magic number for Christos as an organization, clearly. Both teams, 2 games, 2 wins, 3 goals or multiples of 3. And, you know, a win's a win. It looked a little shaky towards the end. Maybe that's just with the lack of chemistry with some new players coming on, and we'll see next week if they can keep that up.
And so that will do it here for us today here at the Moose Complex in Glen Burnie, Maryland. For our great crew, Mr. Noah Walker, just continuing to work his tail off with us here this season. For my partner, Danny Tal, Christian Taylor, signing off here in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Our final score one more time. Christos go to 2-0 on the year, 6 points with a scoreline of 3-2 over Eagle FC. We'll see you next time, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe.